Nike just spent millions on a campaign with Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce, and Travis Scott mocking Caitlin Clark's range. However, that From Anywhere advertisement has a subliminal message that discloses a significant aspect of Clark's destiny. Everyone believed they were aware of the $28 million, 8-year agreement. That was only the start. Every child, girl, and kid who aspires to play basketball will come to feel that they can succeed from any place, just like Caitlin did, thanks to what is actually happening in 2026. The internet went crazy when Caitlin made her big revelation following the release of the advertisement. Are you looking forward to Caitlin's return to the court? Tell us in the comments section below.
Caitlin! Can you make it from there?
Hey, Caitlin, how about from here?
Come on, guys.
Yeah, she can't make it from there.
No chance.
Caitlin, from me to left? You got it.
I'm not even gonna ask.
Hey, Caitlin from here might be impressive. Am I right?
Whatever, Che.
From right here.
From there!
The boys wanna be her, the child wanna be her.
From anywhere.
You've seen the Nike ad, but this is what most people overlooked regarding Clark's path to this point. Caitlin did more than just practice in that Iowa driveway. It was then that she laid the groundwork for Nike executives to recognize they were signing a revolution rather than just a basketball star. Let's take a moment to discuss that driveway. Caitlin was outside in the Iowa cold, shooting basketballs until her hands went numb, while other children were inside playing video games. Her father recalls her pleading with him to remove more grass and add concrete, so she could have a full three-point line in their driveway. This was not a light-hearted weekend undertaking. This was a father who chose to fuel his daughter's passion after realizing it.
When Clark was growing up in Iowa, already running circles around the boys, her dad took her to see a WNBA game in Minnesota. She returned home hell-bent on adding distance to her jump shot.
I'm begging my dad to tear up some grass and pour more concrete so I could have an entire three-point line in my driveway.
Did that really happen? You extended your range by dumping more concrete?
Yeah, because it was kind of slanted. Our driveway was slanted, so I only had a three-point line on one side of the driveway. So I told my dad he had to tear up all this grass, and he did.
The majority of coaches at the time saw Caitlin as everything she wasn't. Not athletic enough for the highest levels of basketball, too short for a forward, and too slow for elite guard play. Everywhere she went, the doubt followed. This is where things start to get interesting, though. Caitlin returned to that driveway and began shooting from progressively greater distances each time someone told her she couldn't compete at the next level. Coaches have never seen anything like those early morning workouts. Caitlin was constantly draining shots from the parking lot throughout practice, not just once or twice for show, while her high school teammates were practicing layups and free throws. As she made shot after shot from distances that looked unattainable for someone her age and height, her colleagues marveled. When college scouts first saw her perform, they were astounded. She was making shots from parts of the court that most players wouldn't even try. She wasn't merely taking risks, though. She was earning them at an illogical percentage. Coaches began phoning one another. This Iowa kid who could shoot from anywhere on the court became well known. The distance wasn't the only thing that set those driveway sessions apart. Caitlin created a mental strategy that set her apart from all other players. Other children moved closer to the hoop as they missed shots. Caitlin took a step back after missing. Every coach rejection served as fuel. Every scout's uncertainty served as inspiration to disprove them from an even greater distance. This way of thinking became her trademark. She got more driven to make the shot the tougher it was. Because defenders were unable to stop someone who could score from 35 feet away, her high school coach began creating plays expressly around her range. Women's basketball as a whole has to change to accommodate Caitlin's abilities. That driveway training had become legendary by the time she arrived in Iowa. She wasn't merely using the emblem as a guide. Defenders were draped all over her as she made shots from a logo. The same range that began as a child attempting to prove herself had evolved into a weapon that altered the rules of the game.
So you made 233 out of 300. This is kind of your routine.
Yeah.
How do you feel about 233?
I think it's a good number. Threes were a little bit, I wouldn't say lower. I'll still take 63, but I want to be more so around 70 if I can.
Yeah.
81 mid-range is really, really good. Usually around 75 there. And anytime I can get to around 90 out of 100 free throws, I like that number. I want to be above 90, but sometimes I'm not. But if I can be at 90, that's what I like to be at. So I'll take that number.
When Nike officials observed her collegiate career, they noticed a change. They saw more than just another gifted athlete with strong shooting skills. They witnessed a person who had completely reimagined what was feasible on a basketball floor. Marketing jargon was not used in the From Anywhere campaign. It was the exact reality of what Caitlin had been doing in Iowa since she was a young child. Unknowingly, the young child shooting by herself in her driveway was setting up a moment that would permanently alter women's basketball. Every shot she made from an impractical distance was a step closer to something far greater than her own achievements. She was developing a model that would encourage a whole generation of young athletes to think they could succeed from any location. Beyond basketball skill, Nike recognized something unique. They witnessed someone who had transformed uncertainty into resolve, criticism into assurance, and impossibility into inevitability. That driveway in Iowa served as the foundation. However, the true reward was still to come.
Caitlin, you're a pretty good basketball player, but you make it from here.
Jason, show them how you make it rain from downtown.
Can you hit it from here, Caitlin? Gotta make your free throws.
From right here.
Yep, baller.
Bet you can't do that, Caitlin.
Anyone else?
Celebrities dispute Clark's range in a Nike commercial, but that's precisely what she's been hearing her entire career. The same skepticism that followed Caitlin through every level of basketball is evident when you see Michael Che, Travis Scott, and the Kelsey brothers press her to shoot impossible shots. This story wasn't made by Nike. They simply depicted the struggles Caitlin has faced since high school. Let's discuss how this uncertainty manifested itself in actual life. The criticism grew stronger each time Caitlin advanced a level. Her manner wouldn't work in college, according to high school coaches. She couldn't maintain that range against Division I defenses, according to college observers. Professional defenders would totally stop her deep shooting, according to WNBA experts. The pattern continued unabated. This is when things start to get interesting. The identical forecast was made at each level. Hold off until she encounters stronger defense. Hold off till the game picks up speed. Hold off until she competes against actual athletes. However, Caitlin continued to disprove them with performances that defied basketball logic. It wasn't an accident that she scored 40 points while shooting from the parking lot during those Iowa games. They were immediate reactions to those who claimed it was impossible. Warmth. Warmth. Her senior year's Michigan State game is particularly memorable. The first half was devoted to commentators discussing how the Spartans would put her in challenging situations. In response, Caitlin made 7 three-pointers, 3 of which came from beyond 35 feet. She was doing more than just scoring. She was addressing everyone who doubted the sustainability of her range at the highest levels. Nike had a critical understanding of Caitlin's psyche. She wasn't weak because of the doubt. Her fuel was skepticism. She went out and made it appear easy every time someone suggested she couldn't make a shot from a specific distance. This is exactly reflected in the framework of the advertisement. When a celebrity is questioned about her abilities, she answers by making seemingly impossible drills. However, Nike's strategy is much more brilliant. They understand that Caitlin is capable of handling more than simply criticism. She actively looks for the most difficult photos to support her claims. She began shooting from the logo after defenders gave her room at the three-point line. She began shooting from half court when they pressed her at the logo. Every change made by rivals served as inspiration for Caitlin to increase her range.
Nike's finally going all in on Caitlin Clark, and it happens with a Christmas Day commercial drop. Really a fantastic ad all around, and speaks to the appeal of Clark, and speaks to, I think, the efforts that are going to be put into her from a marketing standpoint, not to mention the importance of 2026, the season for her and the season for the WNBA, when you dial yourself back a second or pull yourself back from the immediacy of the ad and realize, the importance of that season taking place.
Her WNBA debut season was a direct result of this mindset. The criticism was more intense than before. Experienced athletes wondered if her performance in college would translate. Members of the media believed that she would find it difficult to overcome professional defenders. Some fans questioned the veracity of the excitement. In response, Caitlin broke 62 records and had an economic impact of $36 million for Indianapolis. For the whole 2024 season, she was responsible for about 27% of the league's overall economic effect. The story is told by the numbers. The number of watchers increased as Caitlin performed. Ratings fell after she was hurt. The league found that having a player who could make shots from any location was not only entertaining but also revolutionary from an economic standpoint. Her ability to make seemingly impossible shots become inevitable outcomes set a new standard for women's basketball. This change is aptly depicted in the Nike commercial. They are presenting Caitlin's superpower as her capacity to convert skeptics into believers by making uncertainty the main focus. She always replies to inquiries about her range by pushing the boundaries of what is feasible on a basketball floor. Not only are the celebs in the advertisement pushing her to take shots,